Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. We have a breaking story. Well, it's not so much breaking, but now there's a new twist to the FISA memo. They say Devin Nunes altered the memo. Bum, 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 bum. That's right. He altered the memo. He corrected some typos. And I don't know, did some, something was supposedly potentially could be, an FBI secret that he eliminated from it, but it's been altered. And so now Adam Schiff wants a new vote. Bum, 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 bum. Because the material, parts of the memo have been altered, and now it's falsified. It isn't the same. By the way, he's the chairman of the committee that can do, that has oversight over this, so he can do what he wants. But it's been altered. Took some typos out. And what's funny about it is now it's tainted. So just so we're clear, the FBI dossier, it could be the FBA, Federal Bureau of Aggravation, the FBI dossier that they use to get the FISA warrants to spy on Trump, that's completely fabricated by some British dude who supposedly worked with the Russians on information. All that they got right in that memo was how to spell Trump's names, the Trump family names and the Trump members. That's it. And they say, well, there was factual information in it. Yeah, the name Donald Trump was the only thing factual. It was completely made up. It involved prostitutes and all kinds of, like I said, you'd have to be on hallucinogenic drugs to believe anything about this fake dossier. But that's okay to go ahead and issue a FISA warrant so you can spy on Donald Trump and continue to thwart his election prospects. But because you make a grammatical change to the document that outs the FBI, Schiff wants you to believe, this is terrible. We can't have this. I'm telling you guys, the Democrats are in fear for their scurrilous, scandalous lives, and they better be. They better be. There's lots of signs, folks. Lots of signs. Desperate. Shifting tactics. You want to know what else these suckers have done? These chumps in the Democrat Party, after they realized that President Trump was bulletproof, they shifted tactics and they began targeting others in his administration. Now, I talked about this earlier when they started targeting Donald Trump Jr. They targeted Carter Page. They went after everybody else. For the record, when's the last time you heard the word Manafort? Yeah, when have you heard that? You haven't heard anything about it. Flynn he's in the dust. There is nothing they can do to Flynn because they're going to find out all the information leading to his, so-called shenanigans was illegally obtained. Now, in the end of it, Flynn didn't do a whole lot wrong anyway. But now that it's spinning back on him, you don't hear those names. But they tried to deflect Donald Trump Jr. They went after him. Then remember when they went after Jared Kushner? When's the last time you heard the name Jared Kushner? Dude, he's a son-in-law. He's done it. So now they're shifting again. Scumbag Adam Schiff claims Devin Nunes colluded with the White House when he sent an altered version of the FISA memo that had been approved because it had typos. Yeah. Democrats jumping ship left and right. McCabe will soon lawyer up, and there will be many others. I guarantee you the phones of law offices around D.C. are buzzing. They're too hot to touch. They're warning the admins, don't touch the receiver. You could get burned. The big Russian conspiracy, Russian collusion lie is about to be exposed. So the next ploy, they want to sanitize the players, everybody. Yeah, the Washington Examiner wants us to believe that the pro-Hillary, anti-Trump Peter Strzok actually tried to help Donald Trump. I'll read you this. The FBI agent accused of sending anti-Trump text messages co-wrote a draft of the letter former FBI Director Comey sent to Congress informing members he was reopening the Bureau's investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server days before the 2016 election. Peter Strzok, who exchanged derogatory messages about President Trump and expressed sympathy towards Hillary Clinton with FBI colleague and mistress Lisa Page, was in favor of reopening the probe after new emails were discovered on Representative Anthony Weiner's laptop. A source told CNN. Comey sent a note to lawmakers on October 28th, the day after Strzok circulated his first cut to other FBI officials on the 27th, a little more than a week before voters went to the polls. Clinton has openly blamed this particular letter for her defeat in the 2016 elections. Suggested edits were made to the draft before it was forwarded to Comey by then FBI Chief James Rabicki, per CNN. Comey would eventually send another letter on November 6th advising Congress the probe had been closed. So they want you to believe Strzok, even though he was a partisan hack, he was really going all out to make sure that Hillary Clinton, was found out. Yeah, that's what he was doing. See, Strzok isn't so bad. Wink. He was the reason, folks, that the FBI decided to reopen the case against Hillary Clinton when thousands of additional emails were discovered. Yeah, that's it. So let's begin with the obvious. An untrained baboon knew to reopen the case against Hillary Clinton under those circumstances. What else could the FBI do when thousands of emails are found on a sexual pervert's computer, and you don't know what he's capable of doing with those things when he wants to satisfy his urges? So maybe he was selling secrets. So that's the obvious. But next, what happens afterwards showcases the real corruption, because you know that Strzok reopened the case in order to have the case closed days later. Think about the time, at the time, how many emails we were talking about. We were talking about thousands of emails that needed to be reviewed. Now, of the whatever number of emails that the FBI had at the early on in the investigation before we found this, we found out it took 150 agents over a year to go through all of the emails. But we're told that of the bounds of emails, and I know it was, I can't remember the number, but it was thousands, they were able to review them within a week and clear Hillary Clinton. Yeah, but get this. Here's what we found from USA Today. The State Department released about 2,800 of those emails, and I love this part, how they wrote this, only a few of which contain classified information, as part of a successful lawsuit by conservative legal group Judicial Watch. So we had to sue to get to those emails, and they just had a little bit of classified information. The very thing that Hillary Clinton argued against, saying, no, I did not receive any classified information. But here again, we find out that she did. If I'm not mistaken, folks, that's enough to get you put in Leavenworth. Any classified information that was found on a horn dog, Anthony Weiner, his computer, you would think would raise flags with the FBI so that James Comey would say, you know what? I was wrong about the conclusion I came to earlier. But the plot thickens. Oh yeah, dun 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 dun. Because the Daily Mail reported that the FBI knew that these emails were on Anthony Weiner's laptop before they told us that they knew. And here I read this. Text messages between two FBI officials show that outgoing Deputy Director Andrew McCabe knew about the additional emails linked to Hillary Clinton's investigation a month before Congress was informed of them, just days before the 2016 presidential election. So they sat on these. On October 28th, 11 days before the election, then FBI Comey sent out a letter to Congress informing it that more emails were found on the laptop belonging to disgraced Representative Anthony Weiner. Thousands of email messages on Weiner's laptop led the Bureau to revisit the investigation, blah, blah, blah. But the FBI concluded there was nothing in those emails that warranted indicting Clinton. Text messages between two FBI officials, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, showed that McCabe knew of the newly found emails by September 28th. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. So, they want to clear Peter Strzok. They want to clear the FBI. And then we find out that the guy who just left, McCabe, who resigned right before he was going to get his 25-year pension, he sat on those emails for a month before we were told about it. Oh, but so it's a matter of national security that we don't let this FISA memo leak out, because it would make the FBI look, it would tell people how they work. We know how they work. They work crooked. That's how they work. This is the biggest scandal in the history of this country. What this agency has done, what Barack Obama's administration tried to do to a private citizen who dared buck the system, who dared fight against the corruption that exists in D.C. that has been fermenting, growing for decades, right under our noses. Yeah. I'll end it with this. They say this: Strzok had been targeted by conservatives as an example of bias among law enforcement agencies investigating Clinton and Trump. And then they go on to say he was one of Mueller's investigators for only a short amount of time. So he was targeted? Since when is seeking the truth targeting? That's number one. Strzok put himself in the crosshairs. Nobody else did.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177, or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.